Seasonal magazine recently caught up with Sabu M. Jacob, chairman and managing director of the listed Kitex group. Different times call for different strategies. What worked in a boom won't work in a recession. And the reverse too. What worked in a downturn won't work in a growth phase. But only the world's best leaders know about this, especially when it comes to business, as leaders in business are always under much pressure to perform from investors and competitors. Add to that the innate human tendency to repeat successful strategies, and you have a recipe for disaster. As Microsoft co-founder and one of the richest guys who ever lived on this planet, Bill Gates, says, quote, "Success is a lousy teacher," close quote. In this interview, Sabu M. Jacob assesses the prospects of the world's third largest infant wear manufacturer, which exports mainly to the demanding US market. We came out from the interaction with the distinct feeling that here is a company that is going to not only survive but emerge stronger from this crisis. And the reasons for these couldn't be more ironic. Sabu M. Jacob was not anywhere near his usual bullish mood. He appeared extremely cautious and conservative about the immediate outlook as well as the future. And that is precisely why we feel that this company is going to emerge stronger post the pandemic. To appreciate this fully, you must know the kind of unbelievably momentous business operation that he has been running and the unique way in which he has been doing it. Kitex supplies to some of the largest American brands like Walmart, Jockey, Gerber, Amazon, Target, The Children's Place, Lamaze, Carter's, Oshkosh, Bye Bye Baby, Sam's Club, and more. And in a state like Kerala, which is not known for excellent labor relations, Sabu had become the largest employer in the private sector by recruiting migrant workers too from all over India and accommodating them in campus in what could be the best hostel facilities by any corporate in India. On a good day, Kitex manufactures 6 lakh pieces of infant apparel and dispatches a whole container of them to the US. Kitex had recorded excellent growth in last fiscal's Q2 and Q3 and had lined up rupees 2,000 crore of investments to triple its capacity to 22 lakh units per day by 2025. But once the pandemic struck and the realities of the crisis unfolded, Sabu has rapidly changed strategies. Indeed, he belongs to that rare breed of leaders who realizes that there is a time for everything. Quote, "This is not a time for adventurism of any kind," says Sabu emphatically. He says that since the core business of all companies are hurt, the temptation will be huge to diversify by investing into other sectors. Kitex too has several such proposals before it, but won't consider any such strategies until there is more clarity on the horizon. There is no point in diversifying to sectors where a business has no core competencies, especially during such a risky time, feels Sabu. He should know the risks as he runs a company whose entire manufacturing facility is now a quarantine area for COVID-19. The only diversification he is planning is a ready opportunity that he sees clearly. International hospital supplies, which the company can undertake without much new investment and retraining of the workforce. He expects this to be a good growth area for the next several years. But other than this, he has put on hold all investment plans, even in his core business. Quote, "This is the time to wait out and survive this crisis first. If you have survived this crisis whenever it ends, you will then definitely have opportunities to expand and grow," says this business leader who seems seasoned beyond his young years. Sabu M. Jacob is also rare in that he is an accomplished politician who floated an NGO 2020 to undertake developmental works in his area that Kerala's major political parties had long neglected. He later converted it into a political party and movement and wrested power in the Panchayat election. Now that was 5 years ago, and with the next Panchayat election due this year or next, Sabu's track record is under scrutiny. Whatever his political opponents are saying, it is a fact that 2020 has enough accomplishments to claim. For one, Sabu has led a massive home building movement in his Kerakambalam Panchayat that saw more than 500 houses being built for the poor, thereby transforming some of the most impoverished colonies to a beautiful township. And under Sabu's guidance, 2020 is planning to contest in neighboring panchayats too, taking this novel political movement forward. Our editor, John Anthony, is in conversation with Sabu M. Jacob, Chairman and Managing Director, Kitex Group.
What was the export situation during the lockdown and after that?
See, the situation now is not very safe because it's like India, everywhere it is affected. Europe, America, everywhere is affected. And our business is mostly with America. And the initial start in two states in New Jersey and New York. Now, I think seems to be little settled down, but the other states started spreading. Now, daily rate is almost 70,000 people. So it's not a very safe situation. The information what we are getting is not really, it's not really good. So we expect, this is going to continue at least, 3 years. So now the second stage, I think the economy is going to affect. So naturally, the purchasing capacity will come down. People will spend only for essentials, food and, other items. So that means, any business is going to affect. So but naturally we are in, to infants business. So I think that way we are going to be the last people, to affect.
Okay.
Because the people cut down the cost, maybe, the last resort. So as on now, situation is not good.
But during the lockdown, did the exports from the Kitex exports, did it come to a standstill or you were doing it?
Actually, the March we closed. We could not actually, reach what we estimated because we lost, the last 2 weeks shipments. And April was totally, it was closed,
Okay.
April month.
Yeah.
And May middle, we restarted.
Okay.
But we are running only like, 30-35% production capacity right now. So that means, whatever the orders, now the orders are less.
Yeah.
And we are facing a couple of issues, not only, orders issue.
Yeah.
We are also facing, the labor issues, because to keep all the COVID protocol and to maintain the factory is very difficult because the social distancing and all the safety, requirements. So, and the difference, here, basically, our factory, most of the workers are staying inside the dormitory campus. So we have to be very careful that, all the precautions should be taken care of. Otherwise, it can affect the entire people and it can be another disaster. So we are very much cautious about that. So what we did, the entire factory is quarantined. So whoever, inside, they are working now, we are not allowing anyone to go out from this factory or anyone to come inside the factory. So visitors are not allowed. The workers, somebody wanted to go out, then to, come back, they have to minimum 14 days quarantine and, then they have to go through the COVID test, then another 14 days. So we are taking all the precautions. So with all this, we decided not to go very aggressively. So we will go very slow, at least, another 6 to 9 months. Then we will see, we will evaluate, how we should go forward.
And you had ventured out into making these PPE kits. How has been the demand for that, and is it a scalable business?
PPE kit, initially we started for the domestic market and we did some good volumes. Then, in fact, now most of the factories, they lost the business, like their regular export business. So everyone converted, their production capacity to PPE kit. So basically what happened is, it's become very unhealthy competition
Yeah.
and prices are crashed. And we are just, slowly backing out from that, because it's not really profitable business right now. So, but, still we are working for some export orders because we think going forward, unless we develop some lines like this, maybe it is difficult, to maintain the same volumes and same business levels. So we are parallelly developing some export market and to America, some sort of, not PP kit, this hospital, disposable products.
Okay. And what kind of a percentage of employees have you retained? Around 60% of the employees have been retained.
Yeah, actually, uh, we had, around 11,000 people, before this COVID,
Yeah.
in February, March. Then, when the lockout declared, I think most of the people, especially the local people, all gone home.
Yeah.
And when we restarted, it was like a 4,000 people. So 7,000 people, gone out. And now we again restarted, taking back these people with the quarantine and, the COVID test and all that. Now today's strength is, like nearly 6,000 people. So I can say, like 60%,
Yeah.
workforce.
Okay. You had also started a plan to take up more locals. How is it working on? Instead of the
Yeah,
migrant
that's
labor.
one, now we are not taking the people from other states. It's too risky because one, to bring them here through the train, 3 days, traveling is quite risky. Then even if we bring somebody, we find, COVID positive, while testing or quarantine time is going to be another risk. So we cannot send back. So keeping them and, to give the proper treatment is difficult. So we decided not to take any out-of-state people right now till we get out of from these COVID issues.
And you had a very good performance in the September and December quarters. What all contributed to that? The Q2 and Q3.
Yeah, we actually, we are coming out and, we are making huge increase in our turnover as well as the profit. And we expected, the same thing in Q4 also.
Okay.
But unfortunately, by that time, this is affected. And that is a little bit affected our results, but, it's fairly good. Not what we expected. We lost, 2 weeks production and, nearly 65 crores business we lost, last Q4. So otherwise, we would have made a very wonderful results. But with all that, still, we made a very reasonable profit and, turnover better than last year. And but I think this year definitely, the Q1 is going to affect drastically because 1.5 months, we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And the balance 1.5 months, actually we are running like 30%, 35% capacity. So that means it's going to really affect our Q1 results.
Yeah.
And I think, it's not only Kitex, everyone is going to affect like that. And but Q2, we are trying to improve. And now our goal is to, even with 60% or 50% capacity, we are trying to maintain our profit levels.
Okay.
Maybe, the turnover may be less, but, the percentage of the profit, we are trying to maintain.
Okay.
So we are taken all the steps, to reduce the cost everywhere. So earlier, some places 2 people and, we reduced to 1 or 1.5. So that means, 25 to 50% labor savings. And like that, all the areas, we are taking every steps, to reduce the cost and to maintain the profit
Yeah.
and to keep moving for at least, Q2, Q3, Q4.
Yeah.
Then we will see, what is happening in this world, and, accordingly we have to
Yeah.
change our plans.
Yeah. Before, by the last August or something, you had some plans to be the #1 player by more products and vertical integration, more products like the socks and that kind of infant accessories. Have you started on all those lines?
No, actually, we planned, like a 900. In actual, the total expansion plan was 2,000 crores, and 910 crores, approved by the board. And all the planning we done and everything, even machinery, everything, we designed, and building designed, land occurred. But, now after March, we decided to hold.
Yeah.
See, this is not the time for any investment. So we decided not to invest any money, and we are closely watching and, monitoring the present situations. So only after, we get a confidence, we will not, invest any money into the market.
How far it has been successful in finding other global markets apart from US?
See, now I feel, the USA is much better than any other places. First of all, our factory kind of thing, like, we are in mass production, not like, not for the small markets like Europe. Europe, is already crashed, and even otherwise, Europe is not a market for us because it's a very small market. Our productivity and number of pieces per day is very huge, like 1 million pieces. So that means, it is impossible, to sell it to a country like, any European country or any other countries. So our market is basically, only to America. So, but, America is much better than any other places, now whoever doing business with the Europe, in mostly the Tirupur factories, Bangalore factories, they are all in big troubles because there's no orders. So, this is not the time to move to any other market, and there's no market also. So we are just, sticking with America, and I think America will recover faster than any other countries.
But how is the protectionism in US affecting your business? There is a protectionist trend there, no? For protecting US businesses, especially
No,
after
I
shutdown
don't.
had come. Yeah.
No, actually, that is not affecting India. This is actually good for India because it's mostly, he's coming out with a lot of restrictions to China and other region. But internally, I think, that is in favor to, to India. Indian market is going to boost. So due to this Corona and after Corona, I believe due to a lot of political as well as social impacts, I think India is going to gain more business, not only from America, all European countries globally. India is going to gain much.
Yeah.
So I feel, that way India is much safe.
Not affecting much.
No, I don't think it is going to affect at all.
Okay. What is the status of your different business segments in US, like brands, private labels, own brand? You had some 2-3 lines.
All the business is affected. See, now the issue is not just, the marketing issues. Now the issue is like, as I explained, the labor, how to manage the labor, how to commit the business, because there's no guarantee that tomorrow we can function. Because even if I increase, my strength, to 10,000 people now, one reason it's not possible with all these restrictions. Secondly, even if I increase, tomorrow all of a sudden this number of cases can increase, this area can be declared as a, cantonment
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
So then you have to close down. So we feel that, now go very slow and closely watch and survive for the time being. And so we are not going very aggressively.
And any plans for growing the Indian operations?
See, I don't think, I don't suggest, not only, for us, we are not going to do any sort of new additions or new ventures or new investment, new areas. Okay, the thing is, now even the Indian factories, Indian business is going to affect everywhere. If you go to any textile shop or any shop, the sales has come down 90% to 80%. So basically, people are buying only like now. Because in the Cochin city, most of the big shops, their sales is only in undergarments. So people are buying only essentials.
Yeah.
They are not buying any churidar or saris or any outerwears.
Okay.
So generally, all those industries are affected. So
Okay.
naturally, the existing manufacturers or industries in that will definitely think about, exploring that areas. So this is not the right time, a new person to enter into a new business and finding new market is very difficult time.
And is there any scope for any licensing arrangement like jockeys having with page and all that kind of thing is possible for Kitex?
See, the thing is, you have a lot of opportunities because now a lot of people wanted to sell their license or any brand or anything.
Yeah.
This is the right time to secure any brand or anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like others, the question is, what is your future? So this is a big question mark. What is tomorrow? What is next year? What is 22, 23, 24? So unless, we get a clarity, no one can predict. It's a total uncertainty in this market. So we are not, trying for any brand or any future investment or, any future, areas.
Okay. And what is the political situation for 2020 in Kedakambalam? Your assessment now?
Politically, there's no much difference, but now, I don't know whether the Panchayat election is going to conduct in October. The election commission said that, they are going to conduct with all the restrictions and all those things, by in October itself, the election. But we are ready, because nothing to do much, because it's not like any other political party. So they just simply sleep for 4.5 years. Then the election comes, everyone will become very active. In our case, it's not like that. We are very active in the, society and development. So nothing to work, much, for the election purpose, because we are already into their life. So basically, we need not do much election campaign or anything. Even otherwise, we decided to have a green sort of election campaign, green election campaign, because without any flex boards,
Oh.
without any sound pollution or any other, sort of pollutions, because we don't record that. Because our name and, we are into the people's heart. So we need not spend much money, on that. So we decided that now it's become more easy because it's going to be like a social media election campaign. So I think it's nothing much, but we are very confident. We will improve our position, and I cannot predict because this is all depending upon a lot of other factors. The COVID and how the percentage of vote, because a lot of restriction may be there. So otherwise, I think definitely we will improve our position than last 15 election.
You had plans to branch out to other panchayats in this year's elections. Are you still planning for that?
Yeah, we are actually, this work has started because we wanted to, give, these facilities and services, to nearby panchayats, because now already, like 7 or 8 years, we are working for this panchayat, and people are actually benefited out of, our hard work. Now we are actually decided, to at least, one or two panchayats more to add into this. So we are working, and the membership distribution all started. So slowly we started, the election work and all that. But there also, all the nearby panchayat, I think we will get much better position there, because they wanted us, to deliver, our services. So I think things are going to be more easy than our existing panchayat.
And you had a very mega plan for building around 400 homes. Where does it stand now? For the
No,
poor?
that all completed. We completed more than that. I think nearly, I don't have the correct numbers, but we finished, almost like 890 houses.
890, yeah.
Yeah, 890. I'm not sure, but something around that numbers.
Okay.
And another 650 we renovated.
Okay.
And in addition to that, around 72, the Lakshambid colonies, we converted into villas. So, yeah, I mean, housing projects, not only housing projects, most of our projects is completed. But actually, some areas like a road,
Yeah.
we promised that, all the roads will be converted into BMBC. But that we could not, because basically it's not like simply, putting the BMBC tarring on that. We are actually, we are working in, in a very long-term plan. So most of the roads, we are forced to widen it. So that widening process takes a lot of efforts and time and money. So the roads become from 6 meters to 12 meters, 8 meters to 15 meters wide. So that process, took a lot of time and money and energy. So that we could not complete, but that's all in the progress. And I think, I can say, maybe 80% of the works, we completed, what we promised.
And regarding these 890 homes, can you tell what kind of a home it is, the square feet, what kind of a cost you
It's all depends, some houses, like starting from 500 square feet
Okay.
to 720 square feet. So that depends, upon the families.
Yeah.
Some family, with the 1 bedroom, some family with the 2 bedroom, some family with the 3 bedrooms. So depends upon the family numbers. But all similar constructions and similar facilities. Only the difference is, the square feet is different. Then the difference is, the finishing style. Some people, because some people, contributes, their portion also.
Yeah.
So wherever they contributed, we added some value additions like, the
Tailing and all.
tiles, flooring,
Yeah.
granite, sit outs, those kind of things. Otherwise, the construction and general construction, general facilities all same.
Otherwise, the whole cost is by the panchayat itself.
Pardon?
Otherwise, if they are not contributing, the basic home is by the panchayat itself. The whole cost.
Here actually it's not just a panchayat. Panchayat, can give only, earlier it was like a 1 lakh, then increased to 2 lakh, because it's all the government policies.
Yeah.
And then to now, last year onwards, it is 4 lakhs.
Okay.
So government is giving, not government, panchayat contribution is 4 lakhs. And, but, the 890 houses, what we finished, 80%, 90% of the houses, the contribution was 2 lakhs, not 4 lakhs. So the balance, some portion, the people, they will take it, and balance, the 2020 will take the cost.
Okay.
Average, the cost is varying from 8 lakhs to 15 lakhs. It depends, the area and, all that. So, and the square feet. So, after 2 lakhs, some people will contribute, to 1 to 2 lakhs. Then the balance amount, 2020 will take it.
Okay. So basically, their contribution is land for many
Yeah.
of them. Okay.
Correct.
And apart from the land, some of them may put up to 2 lakhs.
Up to 2 lakhs,
Okay.
maximum 2 lakhs.
2 lakhs. And
Not everyone. Some
okay.
people zero. Most of the
Yeah.
people is zero.
Yeah. Panchayat will put around 2 to 4 lakhs, and the rest is by 2020.
Yes.
You had a plan to merge Kitex Children's Wear with Kitex Garments earlier. Is that plan still on? You had a study
No, actually, I think last year itself, we have decided, not to merge. Our plan, is to reach the maximum capacity of the other company also. And we are going to list that company separately.
separately. But both these companies are in the same line of business.
Same line means, both are into infants business.
Okay.
But I can say, little bit, different products.
Oh. Both are owned by the
Not
same
the same product.
same
Not
promoters,
the same product.
same promoting group, but slightly different product line.
Yeah.
They are also in the US exports and all.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything more you want to add regarding Kitex brand? Anything we have missed out?
Actually, I mean, this is not the time to talk about much about the business or the future or any other plans. I'm just, I mean, now you can see a lot of interviews, lot of debates, discussions in the TV and everywhere, before COVID, after COVID, all those kind of things. But in my opinion, this is not the time to talk anything about the future now, because we don't know what is the future and what direction this is going to move. Because we don't have any sort of indication that, when we are going to come out from these COVID restrictions. Because now the entire world, even my children,
Yeah.
is some sort of, today morning, my, the daughter, she's 7 years. She said, Dad, I will also come with you. I wanted to go for a drive, So that shows, some sort of depression even in the kids, I mean, started, I mean, so I think generally people all, we are all, moving every day, to going to the movie, going to the shopping malls, and we are not sitting at home.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden we are all forced to sit at home.
Yeah.
And from March now, April, May, June, so 3 months is over, 90 days.
Yeah.
So that means entire world is going through some sort of depression. So I think even today, if somebody asks me, what is your future plans? I say, no, nothing, zero. Because I cannot plan anything for tomorrow, because I have to see and wait and see, what is the plan for Corona now.
Yeah.
So only Corona decide, we can move forward.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is not the time.
Yeah.
And my suggestion, a lot of people suggesting, okay, diversification to other products, other market, medical products.
Yeah.
I don't suggest, if anybody asks me, my opinion is very clear. Whatever level you are and whatever you can, you just try to maintain that. Don't get into any sort of investment. Don't get into any sort of new investigation or research. That all going to be end up with is going to be a suiciding attempt. So what my humble suggestion is, try to maintain your business even with the 10%, 20%, and keep moving.
Yeah.
And to maintain that business, if you can survive and overcome this COVID, maybe this year or next year or after 3 years, if you are still survive, that means, you have a great opportunity, waiting for you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you are jumping into any sort of investment or any sort of new ideas, that is equivalent to, you are trying to suicide.
Yeah.
So better to keep your, money in your bank
Okay.
and spend
Judiciously.
wherever,
Yeah.
you try to save the money, and don't spend any further investment, just to maintain and keep moving.
Yeah. What do you think of the government's response, Indian government's and state government's response in handling the situation?
See, it's two different things. Handling the situation, of course, initially, if I say, the central government is very aggressive, but I think now it's gone out of their control. Now they are, everything is gone to the states' control, because every state has to save themselves. So every state is fighting. But I think Kerala also, I think they did a very good job, to managing the, this situation. But unfortunately, I think not only in Kerala, everywhere globally, the world, the oppositions and politicians created such a bad situation, today. Because the everywhere, any government, this sort of situation, the ruling party will take advantage.
Yeah.
So the opposition will become, we can say, become unimportant.
Yeah.
So naturally, that frustration made them a lot of bad things, and I think they created all sort of issues. Even today, the Kerala, now the number of cases is 600, 700 is going to increase to 1,000 or more within few weeks.
Yeah.
So if you ask me who made this situation, simply our politicians, nobody else. Otherwise, we would have controlled in a much better way, because here all decisions made by the political decisions, and everyone, the opposition and ruling party, and they are fighting each other, and no one was trying to save the country or the people. So that is affected seriously, and that's why we are into this position now. So they are responsible, not the people. The politicians are responsible for today's situation.
It is wonderful speaking to you, Sabu.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
All
Thank
good.
you for,
All the best.
okay, bye. Thank you, bye.